All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Los Angeles Lakers Daily, where we post daily Lakers content. If that's something that interests you, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. We've got a pretty janky trade today. It's regarding Russell Westbrook, who I'm standing. There's no way. There is no way, shape, or form Russell Westbrook gets traded from the Lakers before the trade deadline. There's just no way that happens, considering LeBron James wanted him, Anthony Davis wanted him. There is just no way it happens. And then you also are reminded of his absurd contract, and you're like, oh yeah, he's definitely not getting traded. So today we have I don't know, I'm not a fan of this whatsoever. This was on Sports Illustrated, so that should kind of tell you what we're about to get here. It's Russell Westbrook for Tim Hardaway Jr., Dwight Powell, and Trey Burke. Now, I don't think it's that crazy of an idea. What does this trade for me, what just makes this an immediate no, is Trey Burke. No disrespect to Trey Burke. Always been a fan of him since Michigan, but he's not enough. He's just not enough. So the big question mark with the Lakers right now is usually what happens is you come playoff time, LeBron James becomes the point guard. He becomes the primary ball handler. Well, Russell Westbrook, in order for him to succeed, he needs the ball in his hands most times. So the playoffs are going to be really interesting. What I imagine is going to happen is I imagine they're going to get staggered, kind of like they have been at times this season, particularly when they only have two of their big three playing. They kind of stagger them. And so that's what I think will happen. I'm a little worried about Russell Westbrook in the playoffs. I don't think he's going to do that bad, but I don't think he's going to do that well, just because it's tough to score with Russell Westbrook on the court when your defense isn't playing well and Russell Westbrook isn't the point guard, because Russ depends on a couple of different things. He needs the ball in his hands, and he needs to be going downhill. And if you're not getting stops defensively, if you're giving up 120 points, if you're giving up 130 points, you're not stopping the ball. You're not going to be running in transition. So if the Lakers aren't running in transition and Russell Westbrook's the shooting guard, they're going to have a bunch of issues. So, getting Tim Hardaway Jr., Dwight Powell, those are two players that I think would do great on the Lakers. Dwight Powell, phenomenal defensive big man who can also give you, maybe 10 and 6 off of the bench. He'll give you offensive points. Tim Hardaway Jr., offensively, that man can go off for 30 pretty much any night, on any given night, maybe more like 20 at this point in his career, but still he can drop 30 in once a month or what have you. But Trey Burke, it doesn't do it for me. Russ statistically this season isn't really even doing that bad. 19 points per game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, but he's shooting 43% from the field, which isn't great, and then he's shooting an abysmal 30% from downtown, which is just god awful, and he's getting paid $47 million this season, or $43 million this season, $47 million next season, and those are your shooting splits. It's not great. So the Russell Westbrook trade scenario, it's just, I literally have yet to come across one that makes sense in my eyes for the Lakers. Just none of them really make sense, considering, the Lakers only have one first round pick, and it's 5 years from now. That doesn't help either. So drop some comments down below on what you think is going to happen to Russell Westbrook. Hit the like button, hit that sub button as always, and I'll see you guys later.